Thank you, Toastmaster Raj. That was a good introduction. Blend your eyes. I don't want to do it right now. Anyway, coming back to the story. During my childhood, my parents were very strict. To my father, I should always score first rank. Even securing second rank is a sin. When I was in my 8th standard at school, in one of the term exams, I ranked second in my class. But I did not show the report card to my father because I knew what would be the outcome. I came up with a plan. I decided to show him the report card after securing first rank in the next term exam. The plan was a complete failure. I slipped to fourth rank from second rank. Once again, I did not show him the report card. How long one could escape from the class teacher by telling an excuse every single day? I was running out of excuses. At one point, my teacher lost her forbearance and she directly called my father. She asked him why he didn't sign the report card even after I secured such a good rank. Later that evening, when he came to pick me from school, he signed the report card and we started leaving home. He didn't ask me a word for what I have done. If you do something wrong and you instantly get a punishment from your parents, you will be gratified as if you have achieved your lifetime goal. Instead, when they remain silent, that is what more dangerous. That's why we have the saying, calm before the storm. To my surprise, not even my dad's little finger touched me that day for not getting the first rank. But his footprints were all over me for not showing the report card. On the other hand, my mother. She always had a schedule and I had to follow it without fail. I should go to school, tuition, karate class, etc., etc. Our neighbors and relatives are more worried about our future than our parents. One such good fellow chanted some mantra into my mother's ears, and all of a sudden, she wanted me to learn Hindi, and straight away she joined me in Hindi tuition before even I realized what Hindi was. During the initial days, I went to the classes regularly. As days went by, not sure whether I couldn't learn it, or didn't like the way the teacher taught it, or didn't like the teacher herself. I lost my interest. But I did not have the courage to share it with my mother. So I started to bunk the classes. For the first 2 to 3 days, I spent the tuition hours by sitting inside a temple, wondering how long I could escape by doing this. Incidentally, it was time for Deepam festival in my hometown, and I leveraged that opportunity. I wrote a letter in Tamil as if it was written by the teacher herself, which roughly translates to English as follows. Due to Deepam festival, classes will be on leave for the next 2 weeks. Classes will commence only from December 15. And with the little knowledge I had in the Hindi language, I put the signature of the teacher alone in Hindi, Leela Rani, to make it worth believable. I gave the letter to my parents and briefed them what was written. They had a glance and did not ask me. For the next 4 to 5 days, I was enjoying bunking classes. By a twist of fate, our teacher came to our shop to buy bangles and she had met my mother. And the rest was history. Later that evening, since I didn't know that my mother already met the teacher, I went to our shop as cool as cucumber, wherein my parents looked like they were about to blow their gaskets. The moment I entered into our shop, my father thrashed me from head to toe and was tossing and turning around in pain. All I had to do was to share my interest and disinterest with my parents. All I did was scare and chickened out. Why I couldn't share my opinion with my parents? What was wrong with me? My dear Toastmasters and fellow guests, isn't this the most haunting question a child could ever ask? This fear of sharing their mind with their parents is the main reason for most of the problems a child could ever face, which also include child abuse and child suicide. This is clearly evident from the everyday news we listen. How could we forget the Pollachi incident in which school girls were abused and blackmailed? Or the recent incident in Coimbatore in which a class 12 girl was forced to commit suicide because of the sexual harassment by a teacher. Children hesitate to share their problems with their parents only because they don't find their parents comfortable enough to share, or the parents fail to create a comfortable atmosphere for their children. Parents may be comfortable enough to handle even the worst case problems of the children, but somehow it could not be understood by the children. This is because the way the parents interact, the words they use, the intonation in their voice, or even the body language would create a huge impact among a children's mindset. To all those parents and future parents out there, my request is make your children feel that we respect their opinion and we support them with understanding and kindness during their hard times. For example, if a child commits a mistake, choose discipline over punishment. That will encourage the children to remain open about their mistakes rather than hiding them away. All I have now to say is lend your ears, end your children's fears. Over to you, Contest Master.